From time to time, I like to go back through my videos and look at the kind of content I was making 2 years ago, or the kinds of videos that my audience has really been responding to in the last year, and see if there's something I can revisit or something that is inspiring there. I came across this video that I made 2 years ago. I made it in the summertime. It's summertime now, it's been 2 years, and the premise of the video was to feed myself for a single day with a $5 budget. Out of curiosity, I plugged in the ingredients I used for that video into my Walmart app to see how much it would cost today, and it came out to right around $8. It would cost me $8 to buy the same ingredients, make the same video today, 2 years later. For this video, I decided just to make it an even 10 bucks, but with that $10 budget, I'm actually gonna be able to make enough food to feed 2 people for a day. Before we dive into the video, I wanna quickly thank today's sponsor, Waterdrop. Waterdrop makes glass and stainless steel water bottles that are both functional and beautiful. They also make water drops that you can use to lightly flavor your water. They have no sugar added, and they're made from natural fruit and plant extracts. They come in lots of different flavors. I personally like the glow flavor the best, and they also make caffeinated versions and electrolyte versions of their water drops. This is one of my favorite products that I've ordered for them. It's a glass bottle that comes with a protective sleeve, and they're so beautiful. But I was very excited to see these on their website. These are actually miniature versions of the bottles as well. So if you are a person who doesn't like to carry around like a big glass bottle or a big water bottle, you can order them in lots of different sizes, including this small one, which I think is 14 ounces. And I was also looking forward to seeing this one here. It's more of a canteen style water bottle, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous mint green with the floral pattern on it there. And then it has just a flip top like this. That makes for easy sipping. There are a handful of Waterdrop products available in select Walmarts across the US, but you can look at their entire line of products on their website, and when you visit their website or you follow the link in the description box, you can use my code CMindyMom, and it's gonna give you 15% off your entire order. I'm always trying to think of gifts that are both beautiful and practical, and these actually check both boxes. So I have purchased several of these to keep on hand as gifts to give to friends, for birthdays, for bridal showers. Back to school is just around the corner. These would make fantastic teacher gifts. So be sure to visit that link in the description box or go to the Waterdrop website. Use my code CMindyMom to get 15% off. And thank you again to Waterdrop for sponsoring today's video. Sponsorships are a way for my family to earn an income while keeping my content free to the viewer. Let's get back to it. I shopped at Walmart for this video, and I will pop the prices up on the screen as I mention each item. I have half a dozen eggs, 1 8-ounce block of cheese. I chose mozzarella, but other kinds of cheese would probably work. You can see what I'm doing with this and then make a decision for yourself. I have 1 5-ounce package of pepperonis, a head of iceberg lettuce, 1 cucumber, 1 little Roma tomato, 2 bananas, 1 broccoli crown, 1 small broccoli crown, and broccoli usually looks kind of intimidating price-wise in the grocery store, the fresh broccoli anyway, but the price is per pound. So this little broccoli crown, I can't say that, this little broccoli crown was only 60 cents when I weighed it out. I was thinking of picking up a package of ranch dressing mix in the Great Value brand, but I was really excited to see these next to it. I haven't seen these in my Walmart yet. This is the Greek style, so it's going to be more of like a vinaigrette. And it only requires vinegar, oil, and water, as opposed to some kind of dairy to make like a cream sauce. I really like using these little 7-ounce packages of pasta for these very short-term budget cooking challenges. I find these in the Hispanic section in my grocery store, and I have just the kind of traditional macaroni shape here. And this is totally optional. You don't need this, but I'm going to show you an option for using this yellow cake mix or some of it with the bananas for delicious banana bread. In July of 2023, when I am filming this, the cost of these ingredients for me here in Oklahoma was $9.58 plus an additional 98 cents if you decide to buy the optional cake mix for this meal plan. So that would make the total $10.56. For breakfast, I am attempting sort of a pizza style omelet. I have 2 of my eggs here that I have cracked in a bowl, and I also found some little Parmesan cheese packets in here. Thought that would be fun to add to them. I'm gonna whisk these really, really well, beat them really, really well, and then pour them into my skillet. This is a nonstick skillet, and I've got it kind of on medium to low heat. And we'll just pour these into the skillet. I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt and a sprinkling of pepper. I'm gonna let this cook for 1 to 2 minutes on its own before I add the rest of the ingredients. Now I have about 1 ounce of shredded mozzarella and 7 or 8 of my pepperonis. I like to slice mine up into little pieces so it's a little easier to distribute them evenly there. And then I'm actually gonna turn the heat down to low and I'm gonna pop the lid on this little skillet so that the omelet can finish cooking, and I just want it to cook until, you know, the eggs aren't jiggly anymore, until the eggs are cooked through. And I don't even have to flip this. You could, if you wanted to, I guess fold it like you would a normal omelet, but we're just gonna leave it like so and kind of let the steam from the skillet sort of finish cooking the eggs. Now, you could, if you wanted to, just slice up one of the bananas and serve that alongside this omelet. And like I said, I have enough ingredients to double up on this meal. I can make it twice. Or if you want to see what I'm doing with the cake mix, we can make really simple banana bread. Let me show you. Now, I purchased just kind of regular bananas for this meal plan, and I happen to have one that is already ripe that I'm going to use for this, but I have actually used some tricks before utilizing the microwave or the oven to sort of speed up the ripening process if you need a ripe banana really quick for a recipe like this. So I've got 1 banana. I'm gonna mash it up, 1 egg. I'm only gonna need about 2 cups of my cake mix. I won't even need the whole box. So you could save the rest of it for the next time you wanna make banana bread. Now this is totally optional. I'm just doing this to try to help it rise a little bit better. I'm gonna give it a little help. I'm adding an extra teaspoon of baking soda and about 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Stir that all together. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. I have generously greased my loaf pan here. This is a 1 pound loaf pan, but actually a one that's slightly smaller than this would probably work too, like a 4-inch one. This one is just a little bit bigger than the smallest ones that I have. I'm gonna pour my batter in. Now you could just pop it into the oven at 350 and bake it this way, but since I already got a tablespoon of butter out to grease my loaf pan, I'm gonna take that, it's softened a little bit, and I'm gonna add some of the leftover cake mix that I have and try to make sort of a crumb topping. I'm gonna start with about 3 tablespoons to my 1 tablespoon of butter and just use a fork to kind of blend that all together until it comes together as sort of a crumb topping. I'm gonna sprinkle that over the top. A little bit of cinnamon. Just pop that into my 350-degree oven. It's probably gonna take anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. I'll just kind of start checking in at 35 minutes and see when it's done cooking. I am working on making up this salad dressing just according to the package directions with vinegar, water, and oil. It calls for olive oil. I'm sure vegetable oil would be just fine. I also like to put a little bit of Dijon mustard in any vinaigrettes that I use for the most part because it acts as an emulsifier and it helps everything to stay mixed together. Just about 1 tablespoon or so in this size recipe is what I would recommend. Doesn't take much. I have already washed and chopped my veggies, my zucchini, my tomato, and my lettuce. And if you want some information about how to prep iceberg lettuce, I will leave a link below. I found some really helpful tips on slicing it kind of like julienne style, like restaurant style. And now I'm going to go ahead and just dress the veggies and toss them with this dressing. I probably won't even use all this dressing. I'll probably only use about half of it. I only used half of my iceberg lettuce, and this is still going to be a lot of vegetables for just 1 salad, or sorry, a lot of vegetables for just 2 salads. I'm making 2. I don't want to overdo it on the dressing. You could use less or more depending on what you like. I'm going for sort of an Italian-inspired chopped salad type situation. So I chopped up the rest of my pepperonis that I didn't use in the omelets and about 3 ounces, about 1/3 of my block of mozzarella cheese. And then I'll just top it with the cheese and the pepperonis and we'll have, you know, a really delicious salad. It's summertime, so this is kind of a nice budget meal to have in the summer. Nice and crisp and cool, and I don't have to, you know, heat up my kitchen for this particular recipe. Right now I'm working on a cheesy broccoli pasta. I washed and chopped my broccoli and I even peeled away the top layer of the stalks and then chopped those up into little pieces as well. I brought 4 cups of salted water to a boil and then I added my chopped broccoli and my 7-ounce package of pasta. And I was particular about the amount of water because I'm going to use some of the starchy pasta water to make the sauce, and if I use too much water to cook my pasta, it really dilutes that starchy water that I can use. I also took 3 ounces of my mozzarella cheese, and I used my very fine cheese grater, or my plain that I sometimes use like for zesting limes and lemons and stuff, and I grated that 3 ounces of mozzarella very, very fine, and then I put it into a bowl and I stirred in 1 of my eggs. Once the pasta is cooked to al dente, I'm gonna set aside about a cup of that starchy water and then drain away the rest and immediately put the hot pasta and the broccoli back in the warm pot. I'm going to pour in about 1/4 to 1/2 a cup of that starchy pasta water into my cheese and egg mixture and make sure that I am beating it, you know, stirring it the entire time. You don't want to get away from stirring that mixture with the hot pasta water because then your egg will scramble. You just want to kind of bring that egg up to temperature. I'm going to pour that over my pasta and my broccoli that I've drained and put back in the warm pot and just keep stirring it in that nice hot pasta pot until everything comes together and it's nice and cheesy. You can add a little salt and pepper to taste. You can also add a little more pasta water to make sure that it's thinned out enough for you. And these little white spots in here, they look like they're parts of egg that have cooked, but it's actually because I'm using mozzarella. Those are chunks of mozzarella cheese that didn't get grated fine enough. And I have the heat turned completely off. That's important to turn the heat off. Oops. Couple got away from me. And just keep stirring it. Yum. This made 2 really generous servings of hearty, delicious pasta, and I know it's super simple, but if you can just get that technique down with the egg and the starchy water, I'm just saying it makes a world of difference. So good. Now, with my $10, I was able to make 6 meals, totaling about 4,200 to 4,500 calories, depending on how much oil you use and any kinds of additional little add-ins you might put into the meal plan here and there. But if I were to take that $10 and donate it to a local food bank, for instance, they can multiply it by utilizing their wholesale buying power and the opportunities they have to work with local restaurants and grocery retailers, rescuing things like produce that are very difficult for us to donate. In fact, in reading more about this, the Los Angeles Food Bank says that for every dollar donated, they can provide 4 meals. So my $10 would have turned into 40 meals instead of 6 if I were to donate that cash. Salvation Army, I think, has an entire giving campaign around this idea. I think they call it the $10 difference. And they talk about all of the ways that $10, just $10 a month from people, can really add up and make it possible for them to make a difference for people who are in need. If you are in a position right now where you really need the information that I shared or the recipes that I shared in this video, I hope there's something helpful and useful to you here. And I also hope that you will be encouraged to reach out to other local resources in your area that can help bridge the gap. And if you do not find yourself in that position, if you're one of my longtime viewers or you just find this kind of content interesting, I hope that you will consider making a donation, even a small one, to an organization that addresses housing and food insecurity. This is a huge passion for my husband and me. In fact, we tithe the income from this channel to charity, including charities that help foster and adoptive families, as that is something that is very close to our hearts, having an adopted daughter, and to organizations that address housing and food insecurity and help people get food on their table and keep a roof over their head. And thank you so much for watching my videos, because you're helping us achieve that whenever you watch and support my channel. Until next time, you can pick out one of these videos to watch next, and I'll see you there.